right now and say, I want Josh Taylor and get the Josh Taylor fight because he's A-grade, bro. That's right. So anybody on that pipeline right now, that's a big deal.
I talked his ass, but the same day that James Tony came and signed the contract.
Wow.
So I'm talking to Bobo on the phone like this, look, I got Zab on one phone, I got James on one phone.
He's gonna beat Sean. Everybody listen, he's gonna beat Sean. He's gonna beat Sean. He's gonna beat Sean.
Mike was the perfect example of what I'm talking about.
I ain't got myself on the screen.
Okay.
All right. As we get here now. As we get here. Okay. I got Coach Ronson and J.M. Chance in the building.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for having me, AK.
I
Appreciate it.
We appreciate it, AK. Thank you.
I did something wrong, but we're going to work it out. How y'all doing today?
Doing great. It's a beautiful day. In the DMV, about 76 degrees and sunny. I'm good.
Glad to be here.
I got it. All right, I'm working on that, y'all. What did I do? I did something wrong.
My mic is muted. Is your mic muted? All of us muted.
Yeah, put it on non-directional mode. See, when I said that earlier, you thought I was flexing. You thought I was flexing earlier.
All right. We good now?
It says mic muted on mine.
Check 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, the mic is supposed to be muted, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you hear us now?
Yeah. All right. Okay. So what we gonna get into? It still sound like echo still?
I don't hear an echo.
Should I put mine on?
You can.
Yeah.
All I hear is what I hear.
Me too.
What's
the audience saying?
They saying it's an echo.
Tell them to put it in the chat.
They're saying it is an echo still. What did I do?
What if I mute mine?
You got smokes in the audience.
What about now if I mute? Can they hear it now if I mute?
Is the echo still there? No, it's not there.
Okay. Technical support. Right. That's what it is.
Right. Let's do it.
All right, we here. All right. First topic of the day. What's up, Devin? It can't be still there now. I think we clear now. Sound perfectly clear to me now. Where everybody sound clear. All right, so first topic is Devin Haney dominated George Kambosos in extraordinary fashion. You know what I mean? However you want to view it. And now he's the undisputed 135-pound champion. I'm going to go around the room. What y'all think of that fight?
You go ahead. Start off, JM.
Okay. I thought it was a solid masterclass in my opinion, in terms of strategy. Basic boxing that was executed to perfection. And in so doing, he was able to neutralize the effort that George Kambosos, or the lack of effort that he put forward. But I thought that the thing that impressed me the most about his performance, though, was his reflexes. You know, he had cat-like reflexes and quickness as he was executing some arguably basic boxing technique.
Now for me, I thought that the strategy that they came up with was beautiful. Upon watching the bout, though, I was very disappointed in Kambosos that he did not come to box, well, or fight or anything really to win the fight. And I was watching with my brother, and I'm pulling for Haney, and I kind of was like, man, I thought that he needed to do a little bit more because I was afraid that they would rob him. That was my initial thoughts. But his jab was beautiful. I kind of wanted to see him step it up a little bit more. Let that right hand go because a couple of times you could see him wanting to let it go, but he always held it. He let it go a couple of times, but like I said, the jab was good. It was on point, but I think Devin Haney has a lot more than what he's shown us against Kambosos.
So, Coach, do you think he was conservative with the right hand, knowing that Kambosos is not only a good left hooker, but also a fast left hooker? Do you think a part of the game plan was to be overly cautious for his counter left hook? Well,
I wouldn't say that I think that the game plan would ever be to be overly cautious. I just the way that I see it is that his team maybe felt that, hey, the jab is, you work your jab. Your jab will kind of like tame and keep him in place. And I wouldn't say that he was being over cautious, but what he was doing was working.
Okay.
So that's what I saw.
All right.
Now, JM, won't you, enlighten Coach, because you got away yesterday. Tell Coach what you said yesterday in Clubhouse about what you think Devin Haney had in terms of like Shakur and them. Why don't you say that?
What I said about Devin Haney, let me try to recall that since you try to hit me with a liver shot under the elbow real quick. Let me say that. What I said was that his performance in front of that crowd in that moment outperformed his peers in their biggest fights up to date. Is that what you're referring to?
I mean,
and what I mean by that was when I look at Ryan Garcia against Luke Campbell, which was his biggest fight to date.
Did you just miss Ryan Garcia?
Tank Davis and whatever fight that which you consider his biggest, and Shakur's biggest. I thought from a shutout perspective that he had the best performance. Now, that doesn't mean he fought the better opponent than all of them.
Oh, man. Seems like you made that thing a lot cleaner now that Coach is here. Because, see, yesterday you was like, I mean, Devin Haney, that's the best performance I've seen out of everybody, including Shakur. Now you're saying.
But you know what? I think I understand what JM is saying. Because you got to look at the circumstances. Okay, that he went all the way over there to Australia, and then all the everything that was against him. I think that's what JM is saying.
Yeah.
That with everything against him. Now, as far as the physical opponent, the physical application of combinations and using the different assets, I wouldn't think that Devin excelled in that area because all he needed against this Kambosos was a jab, and he utilized that very smartly. Now, as far as like combinations, I would say that combinations and full you use all your tools. I think with Shakur when he fought Jamel Herring, you saw him use some of everything. So if you're speaking on that level, I think that Devin can do those things, but he did not do those things in the bout against Kambosos.
Now, I need everybody on Samuel L. Jackson's internet to see what AKA the Apostle just tried to do. He just tried to get me caught up with the highest credentialed amateur boxing coach in the world and put me on the spot. Y'all caught him. Y'all caught him.
Also, y'all in the comment section, telling me what you thought about Devin Haney's performance. And the next question I got for everybody in the comment section, including Smoke, including everybody here, is a rematch necessary? Do we really want a rematch?
If they're going to pay Devin Haney $10 million and 70% of the pay-per-view, I want to see him get that kind of bag, personally. I don't care if it's lopsided. I don't care if it loses money. If you can get Devin Haney $10 million and 70% of the pay-per-view, I'd love to see that young man get that prosperous.
In the comment section, Brother Brian Green says, Haney's educated jab controlled the fight along with being able to keep the distance needed to control that fight the way he did. Won't take anything from him. He did what was needed to be done to win the fight.
And I think we all agree with that. But I think to raise. I mean, he went and did what he was supposed to do, and what everybody expected and wanted him to do. But there comes a time when you want to see stuff done in spectacular fashion, such as a Tank versus Rolly.
All right. I'm at a loss for words. I'm at a loss for words. I couldn't even get it out. But speaking of that, like I said, though, if not Kambosos, who do we want to see Devin fight next? Me personally, I'm going to put it out there. I want Devin versus Tank now. I may not get it, but I want Devin versus Tank now. What y'all think about that?
I'm going to go ahead and let you go ahead and JM.
In a perfect world, there's no more war in the Ukraine, or Loma decides that both things are true. I can serve my country. I can come back and fight. After the fight, I can go back and serve my country. I want Devin Haney versus the Matrix. That's what I want.
You want Loma first?
Yes.
Why?
It's an easier fight to make. Same promotional company. Let's go ahead and make that fight first. Let Tank, here's my thing. Let Tank fight a credible opponent to prepare him for a Devin Haney and make the fight even bigger and then match them.
So if it's not Loma, can we get Tank next?
Loma, then Tank.
If not Loma, though, what if Loma ain't on the plate?
Yeah. It's not Loma, do that, or let's go bold. Let's go ahead and move Shakur up to 135 and have him fight Devin Haney for the undisputed lightweight championship of the world.
Why are you so adamant about Tank being in the rear view?
It's easier to make. We won't have the excuses of sides of the street. We won't have the excuses of what networks we're going to be on. The easiest fights to make are the fights that I want to see. Give me Loma. If you can't give me Loma, give me Shakur Stevenson. And if you saw the Tank post-fight footage, you saw Shakur towering over Tank Davis, and Tank Davis is already a 135-pound fighter.
I disagree with that, but I'm gonna go with Coach.
Okay.
Well, I'm not gonna suggest who he should fight next, as it is scheduled for him to fight Kambosos again, and I wouldn't subscribe to that. And Lomo is next on the list after Kambosos, but what I'm looking forward to is all of these guys fighting in the same weight classes and bringing back the old days of a Sugar Ray Leonard, Hagler, Hearns, Pepino Cuevas, and I'm looking forward to seeing that in this weight class, maybe at 135, 140. I'm waiting to see all of them together and all of them fighting each other. And I do think that Shakur will reign supreme.
All right. That's what my thought process. Whether that comes to fruition or not, I got you in 1 second, Smoke. Whether that comes to fruition or not, now we kind of took the scenic route to get into what they call the new 4 Kings. We kind of took the scenic route because we went through a whole year without none of them fighting each other. But however, we still got to undisputed. Shakur still look good. Tank still impressed. So they still here. But what I would like to see, I would like for Tank, Loma, and all them get all that lined up and took care of. Then bring on Shakur.
So why do you want to delay that? Because in my opinion, at 130 at best, the only thing that Shakur is fighting for is belts there at this point. When we're talking about prize fighting, I don't see why Devin and Kambosos should be fighting for a combined nearly 13 million plus payday, and Shakur is fighting, who's the guy that just beat Ogawa, Cordina. He'd be fighting Cordina for the purse he'd be fighting him at. He's ready, he's prepared, he's sharp, he's skilled. Let the man eat. Invite him to what? The buffet, right?
Exactly. And I believe he said he's willing to fight anyone at this time. Anyway,
go ahead, Smoke.
What's up, Smoke?
Yo, hey, man. Some of my favorite dudes, man. You know what I'm saying? Legend, big homie, GQ. But I want to see Devin fight. I want to see him fight Tank. But I'm kind of with JM with they gonna try to pull that other side of the street, and I think it'd be best for him to fight Loma. Maybe even because Teofimo he don't know what he's doing. If he going to 140, 135, maybe even Teo.
Oh, y'all can't hear Smoke?
No, I can hear him through here now, as long as it's not picking up there.
Okay. Like I say, I think Tank should happen now. I think somebody
Turned it down.
oh, my fault. I think Tank should because I think that's the biggest buffet for them two right now. Shakur, whoever wins that fight is still hot. Shakur can still fight them and still get to the buffet.
Well, here's my thoughts. If Tank wanted to really get to the buffet, he should have remained a free agent, because as soon as he now enters that discussion, you're now going to have to negotiate. Is it ESPN? Is it Showtime? Right? Who gets this? Who gets what? And dividing the money between the two companies shortens the fighters' money.
Hold on. I had to mute him for 1 minute.
Yeah.
But I think that's simple. I don't think that'll be a big hurdle. We're talking about the money team.
So hold it. If it was a hurdle for Terrence Crawford, if it was a hurdle for Terrence Crawford to be the only one that wasn't on the same side of the street, why is it not a hurdle now that Tank is the only one that's not on the same side of the street?
First of all, who said it was a hurdle for Terrence Crawford? Who said that? Just because Earl Smith said that in a press conference don't mean nothing. Who said it was a hurdle?
That's always been the narrative.
That's the narrative, but who said that was fact? Who said that was fact? I just want to know who said that was a real narrative.
The eye test. The eye test said.
Eye test?
Let me tell you what the eye test is.
It still hasn't happened.
Hasn't happened. And we had everybody on one side of the street fighting everybody.
Right.
on the same side of the street.
Right.
We had a guy that wasn't on the same side of the street, not fighting those guys. So,
but here's the thing. If we come to the table, right? Like if I come to Bob and say, hey man, you want to fight Danny? Danny want X amount of dollars. Bob say Danny want too much money. All right, we go back over here. They tried to make other fights happen. They tried to make other fights happen for him before we got to the place. Now, him and Pacquiao was on the same side of the street and it didn't happen. So the problem may necessarily may not have been the different side of the street. The problem may have been Bob, how Bob was moving with this fighter. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody else got to eat. Everybody else went to the buffet. And then they forced the Sean fight. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. Tank and Shakur and the Barclay business-wise is the biggest fight to make. Will break the gate record again, in my opinion. That's the fight to make, in my opinion. You know what? Now, like y'all said, right? You talking about Devin Haney fight Loma, Shakur and Tank at the same time, and the winners fight each other?
they're not going to do that to Tank. They're not going to do that to Tank.
What do you mean they're not going to do that to Tank? What you trying to say?
Exactly what he's trying to. He's saying what he's saying.
No, what you saying? No, be clear.
I say what I said.
Be clear. What do you mean they ain't going to do that to Tank?
They are not going,
So Tank ain't got no shot?
they're not going to put Tank in with either. I'm going to go on a limb. They won't put Tank in with Haney or Shakur at this point. I can't see it.
Haney or Shakur?
No.
You know, and I think that, you know, Brian talks about in the Barclays. I think, you know, right now, if Tank boxes Shakur or Haney, it would be at a much bigger place. I think that the star power would be greater than, you know, what we're imagining.
Yeah, that's a Las Vegas fight.
Yes, exactly.
The betting stakes are going to be, the high rollers are going to be there. Yeah, you got to do that in Vegas.
Okay. Hey, Smoke, you got a background noise coming in that's kind of distorted. That's why I keep muting the mic.
Y'all can hear me?
We can hear you, but it's like a back. Okay, now you sound clear.
Yeah, my fault. I had to take a real important phone call.
Okay. All right. Keep going, Coach. I'm sorry, y'all.
Okay, is he speaking?
No, he wasn't.
I can't hear.
But now, like
Yeah,
I was saying,
like I was saying, I think that.
Nah, yes, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm
Go ahead.
with JM. I think that Devin Haney, his best bet is to fight Loma. Trying to fight Tank right now might be a little bit too hard.
You have to tell us what he said.
All right, got you. He said Devin Haney. Say it again, Smoke.
Devin Haney, I think that he need to fight Loma, like JM said. You know
He says no.
It'll probably be a little bit too hard for him to get that Tank fight right now.
It'd be too hard for him to get the Tank fight right now. Sorry, fellas.
Yo,
Yeah,
y'all all together?
The beautiful thing is that these guys are going to fight. They're going to. It's a collision course that's happening. We know it's, you know, as good as boxing is now, it's getting better. So we should be excited and happy, you know, that these guys are, you know, stepping up.
And one thing about millennials in general, millennials think outside the box. And they're not trying to hear what side of the street you're on. They're not trying to hear any of these other obstacles. They're willing to boldly do what the generation before him or before them do. That's, again, why we see, amidst a lot of criticism, what Devin Haney just did. He radically went to Australia, took the deal that he took, accepted the money that he accepted, because millennials just think different.
Exactly. Yeah. They're chasing greatness.
Millennials think different.
Yeah.
All right. My man James Hutton, how you doing? My man James Hutton from Boxing to DC said nobody beats Tank.
Hey, James, I'm about to block you, man.
Stop that. Don't do that.
You, James.
Stop that. But nah, listen. I think all three of these guys, I think it's as we watch each fight, right? after each fight, everybody says, "Oh, this person like this last week, everybody it was Tank. This week is Devin Haney. When we watch Shakur, it's Shakur.
Well,
They got to get in the ring."
well, also, you know, we talk about these young boxers, but there are even more that's coming up, such as a Keyshawn Davis. So we can't just stop with, you know, with these guys. They're young, but they even got a younger group that's coming up behind them. That's even more hungry and looking for searching for greatness themselves.
And not for nothing too.
That's a good point. These young, talented fighters.
Smoke talking. I'm
sorry.
Go ahead, Smoke.
There's one dude that nobody mentions. Ray Savage.
Ray Savage.
Raymond
Savage.
Ford.
Champion,
WBO champion. 126.
Hold on. Talib says Tank is more battle tested.
Does he really think so? I mean, you got to remember all of these kids. They've been boxing since they were little boys. Okay, some of them made it on the international stage and boxing grown men as young boys on the international amateur stage, and as a matter of fact, they've been in with each other. So,
let me tell y'all about the cheat code that Coach Ron is real quick, y'all. See, the cheat code that Coach Ron is and what he's saying is this: he's seen all of them, you know, from the national team. He's seen Tank, he's seen them all. Like anybody that came through the Olympics, right? He's seen them all. So he's been in the gym with them all. You know what I mean? So he do have a little inside track on that. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I got to see these guys get in the ring as grown men. These are the fights that need to happen. It's time. It's time for the Devins to fight the Shakurs, the Devins to fight the Tanks to fight the Shakurs. We here now. On you, J to the M.
Yeah, and my thing is to echo Coach with some of the young talent waiting in the wings. You got to look at it this way: when in the welterweight division, when Keith Thurman and Danny Garcia were on top, you had fighters like Errol Spence in the wings calling for them. Now that Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford are on the top, you have young lions like Jerron Ennis calling them out.
yes.
So it's never safe. It's never safe. People are always looking for the next spot. And don't forget not to leave the division, but don't forget who's making their soon upcoming PBC debut in the welterweight division in Rashidi Ellis. So you got people waiting. They're knocking on the door.
Well, since you did that, should Rashidi Ellis fight Boots right now?
I think he called him out.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he had called them out a couple of months ago. He called him out.
How y'all feel
Boxing's in
about
a
him
beautiful
fighting
place right
Virgil?
now, and it's growing. It's getting better.
I think he's about to fight Virgil. How y'all feeling about that?
Okay. Smoke said that Rashidi Ellis is about to fight Virgil Ortiz.
I didn't hear that, but wow. I know he makes his PBC debut, but I didn't know that that's who he was going to fight.
Okay, here we go. He said, yeah, but look how Shakur did with Jeremiah and how Devin did with Lenoir and Kambosos. Those two seem scary or fight very cautious when they fight someone with power.
Let me respond to that one, okay? Because to lead, you speak about Jeremiah as if he is no one, and he wasn't on the radar. Nobody knew who he was, okay? But obviously he's a knockout artist, okay? 10 bouts consecutively before he boxed Shakur, he stopped his opponents. Then immediately after Shakur, he lost to Shakur, he stopped his next 3 opponents. So now we're beginning to understand who Jeremiah is, as he made somebody that was a monster by the name of Burchelt before he was stopped by Valdez. He made him quit on the stool. So don't underestimate Jeremiah, because he is in no way similar to Linares or Kambosos, especially the Kambosos that boxed last night or the night before.
And I'd also like to echo, smart boxing is to not get hit by the power of a knockout artist. So, Talib, if you are the type of
he's a
person,
coach. He's a trainer too.
Okay. If I'm sure as a trainer, you certainly would not encourage your fighter to get hit by the power of a knockout artist or to test their chin.
I also while we was with this great buffet of boxing, we saw another young talented fighter put his skills on display, and that was Cool Boy Steph Stephen Fulton. What did y'all think about Cool Boy Steph's performance, and what's next for him?
Immaculate.
Man, I was mesmerized by that performance he did the other night. It was beautiful. Yeah, I mean, it made my heart smile. I mean, this guy could do nothing wrong. I wish he had a little bit more pop in his punches, but hey, whoever gets in there with him, they're gonna have trouble because he is beautiful.
Coach, let me ask you this question about him though. When you see him, who does he remind you of that you've seen in the history of the sport, or does he just seem to be one of one?
If I look at him, he reminds me. I mean, the beauty of his boxing reminds me of a Sugar Ray Leonard.
Oh yeah,
that's what it reminds me of. Yeah. It's just beautiful.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay, here come the response from
he said Burchett was past his prime.
Yeah, he said what level? He only fought 2 other fighters with 7-2 records. Here you go. hey man.
Hey, we forget very quickly. Hey, we forget very quickly. We as people, we put them on the throne to chop them down.
I'll tell you what an old man told me back in 1990. He said, he asked me, he said, what do you see if you see a dog stuck up in a tree barking and whining because he can't get out? And I said, man, I don't know. He said, somebody put him up there and somebody's got to get him down. All right. Talib, don't put the fighters up there, man, and forget about them and leave them up there. Come on, man. Don't do that. Talib.
All right, I'm gonna go to Smoke. Smoke, what you think about Cool Boy Steph, man?
Immaculate performance. Immaculate performance.
What's next for Cool Boy?
That was just great boxing. Great boxing.
What's next for Cool Boy?
He's at 126, right?
Cool Boy 126.
He's 122.
122.
122, and he can do whatever. He's in a position to do whatever he want to do, from what I see.
Yeah, basically.
All right, that's quick and easy. That one was quick and easy with Cool Boy Steph. So next up, ladies and gentlemen, on Tuesday night we got more boxing. Listen, I'm telling you straight right now, I better not see not one person that's calling himself a boxing fan complaining. We should be fat and full. We are eating good, and there's still more to come. But on Tuesday night, Inoue versus Donaire 2. My question for everybody is, does Inoue have to win this fight impressively to hold on to his pound for pound status? Because the list is, I know everybody lists all over the place right now. Don't even try to fake. Your list all over the place if you got one. But does Inoue got to win impressively?
Well, you called it Tuesday night because it's probably going to still be dark outside when it comes on, because it's going to be at about 5:45 a.m., 5:30 a.m. in the U.S. that fight is being fought. So it'll be an early morning fight. I think that Inoue has he has, of course, youth on his side, and but you can't count the 39-year-old Nonito out. And I'll tell you what I said though. What we have seen with fighters that have had that orbital bone fracture, if they don't get both sides of their face repaired, they're a bit vulnerable. And we've seen that with Kell Brook after he fought Gennady Golovkin. He got the injured side repaired, but there's a thin bone that connects at the sinus passages that connect both of the orbital bones together. And if only one side is repaired, the other side is essentially connected to nothing, and it can break. So if Nonito knows that, Nonito, call me, Nonito. I'll tell you something about targeting that other side of the face.
Oh man.
So who had the orbital bone broken out of those two?
Anyway.
Oh, he did? I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
When he fought Nonito in the first fight,
okay,
he courageously fought the whole fight.
Wow.
With his orbital bone fracture.
Okay. You know what I mean? I see what he did. Now, I'm not even gonna bring up the other fight where Kell Brook got his other eye broken up because I see how he planted that seed. But we're not gonna do that. We ain't even gonna do that. We're gonna stick with Nonito Donaire. What'd you think about this?
I concur with JM. Nonito is a phenom. I mean, who has ever done what this guy has done? Maybe a Bernard Hopkins, but he's a phenom. And I think the fight is going to be tough because Inoue is a tough guy, and he always brings it, and he brings it in spectacular fashion. I'm still a little afraid for Nonito, even though he's shown all that he has, but he's older, and this Inoue guy is young, and he's a fire plug. He's exciting, and I want to pull for Nonito, but to me it's a dangerous fight.
Smoke Inoue versus Nonito Donaire.
I got Inoue. He too young and fresh, and he was hurting Donaire in that first fight.
Okay.
He was hurting him. Yeah. And I got a question real quick for Coach. Who should I put my money on for that fight?
Smoke said, who should he put his money on for that fight?
I can't tell you that, Smoke, but I can tell you this. This is, this is Let's Talk Sports, this is the Tag Boxer Champion Solutions takeover of Let's Talk Sports. That's what this is right here. You're listening to it live.
I was asking, I wanted to know from Coach.
He said, Coach, he want Coach.
Well,
he got to go. He going to the casino, putting his money on the table. Who you smacking your money on the table for?
Smoke, this is a 50-50. This is a 50-50, but myself, I wouldn't put money on this one. I wouldn't put money on it, not unless the odds were tremendous. I think the young, in this sport of boxing, the younger guy is usually the one that comes out on top. Except for if it's like a Bernard Hopkins and like this guy Donaire. But I think if I had to put money on it, I have to go with Inoue.
He said Inoue, if he had to bank it, he putting the money on the table on Inoue, but he don't want you to put your money on the table because he think that's that one of those things. And I think there's a lot riding on this fight. So I guess everybody please go to sleep. Go to sleep. Get up at 5:30 in the morning and catch this thing live. You know what I mean? So there it is. But I think I don't have a pick. I really don't. I don't have a pick.
I agree with Coach. It's hard to pick against the cagey veteran, but it is a young man's sport. And in a way, they don't call him the monster for nothing. He's earned that. So I'm gonna, in a 50-50 fight, I'm gonna slant it toward Inoue.
Okay. Now, if Inoue goes out there and win impressively, are we looking for Inoue to somehow meet up with Cool Boy?
Well, that's what he's 118 and Cool Boy is 122.
It ain't that far. We talking 4 pounds. We talking 4 pounds.
I think that if they can get that together, I think that'd be a tremendous fight.
Yeah.
Because listen, boxing hot right now. Every time we see a fight right now, we got to think of the big fight. What's the big fight after this one? What's the big fight after that one? Because it's lit right now, and it's that time. And here's my next question for everybody. Which young star is shining the most? He said, where's Rashid Warren? Rashid Warren is in the same weight class with Inoue, right? I believe Rashid Warren is the same weight class as Inoue, right?
Yeah, he's probably about 118. I don't know.
All right, down there with Inoue. Okay, let me say this. Not to slice nothing. Rashid Warren and Inoue, it's that boy Casa. I don't want to say his name wrong. It's not Casa Mayor, but it's Casa. What's his name? Joel Casa something. I'm saying his name wrong, but he's there. Also, we got the brother Gary Antonio Russell is in that weight class too.
Yes.
Yeah. So Inoue got work to do before we got to think about his Cool Boy Steph. Let's get those fights together too. But which one of these young stars right now are we saying is shining the most? Devin, Tank.
Well, it depends on what you're talking about shining.
Exactly.
Are we talking about shining in terms of in the ring action? Or are we talking about shining in, their viewership, popularity? So, I mean, if you're talking about popularity in and out of the sport, the fighter who's fought the least in Ryan Garcia is more popular than any of them.
I disagree. Wholeheartedly.
In terms of the world.
Wholeheartedly.
The world.
The only thing he's famous for right now is betting Earl at the Barclays.
He's on Instagram. He's more popular on Instagram.
Smoke said he's more popular on Instagram. What I'm saying is this. Other than betting Earl at the Barclays, what we talking about? Was it not match up? Do me a favor.
He's got a commercial with Damian Lillard. Did you see it? The commercial he has with Damian Lillard.
He's got a big corporate endorsement with Tequila 1800.
Who else has that? What other boxer has that? Oh, he just shot him down.
Yeah. I told you he's got the Tequila 1800 endorsement. You see him.
Now, here's the thing though, Talib. I don't include Spencer and Crawford in the young star crop. They in their 30s now. They at the creme. I was talking about more the young generation that's ushering. You got Tank. That's how Tank. I know 27. You got Devin that's 23. You got Shakur that's like 22, 23, 24. You got Boo Sanders that's 24. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. He said boxing doesn't know Ryan.
Well, the boxers, they know Ryan. The young guys you just named, they know Ryan because they came up with Ryan. Ryan is a boxer. Whether you guys believe it or not, he is a boxer.
He got to do something in the ring. He got to do something.
He's an Instagram model, coach.
Smoke said he's an Instagram model.
See, Smoke, you may not know him as a boxer though. Did you see him coming up through the program? Okay. He spent many years in this craft. So you can't just say that that someone that's put so much time into the sport and into this craft that they are nothing. You can't discredit them in that manner.
But the reaction you're getting from a lot of people now, Coach, is the fact that we set out a year ago and we thought that we was gonna get a certain amount of action. Now we didn't get what we wanted, but we did get something. But what we didn't do was get anything from Ryan.
Well,
Ryan has nothing to show for nothing right now. At least Shakur is unified and won 2 more titles since then. Devin is undisputed now. Tank done knocked out Rolly. What has Ryan Garcia gave us?
Okay, well, we do know that life happens. Okay, life happens, and business happens as well. And business does not always, go the way that the fans want it to go. And when things happen in life, you have to take care of those situations that happen in life. So that takes away time. Just as COVID hit, guess what? A lot of things didn't happen that we expected to happen. So, like I said, life happens, and you have to adjust, around things that happen in life.
That's facts right there.
Says has nothing. Talisa has nothing to do with it. He's a YouTuber with mental issues. Talks more than fighting.
That's your opinion, to leave, and you have a right to have that opinion.
Tank has the most star appeal. When he beats Haney, he will be a superstar. My brother James. And by the way, ladies, shout out to Boxing the DC. Most of these guys that's commenting right there, they from my Boxing the DC group. Shout out to y'all. Y'all the best. Y'all the best boxing group around.
Hey, Boxing in DC. Let me ask y'all to do me a favor. Run this up. You see this logo right here? Go to champsfs.org or Google Champion Solutions Firearm Services. Get my active shooter preparedness course or any of your other home defense or concealed carry needs. That's a commercial, and I will cash app you for that commercial break.
There's a thing in that thing that says post a comment. You can very well put that in the comment section, and I put it right on the screen for everybody to hear what he just said.
I want to respond to James. James, when any of them beat any of them, they will become a bigger star. So that's fact. And what you're saying, that if when Tank beats Haney, or if Haney beats Tank, or if Shakur beats Haney, their star appeal will definitely multiply.
All right. So with that being said, now we got all these rising stars with potential big fights. Let me ask y'all something. I want this would really good. Is it possible for any one of these fights or fighters to dethrone Canelo as the face of boxing?
It's coming.
Yes.
It's coming. I mean, just like always. I mean, a boxer has that title, and time passes, and someone must, the king must die. He must leave, and another king steps up. That's life. That's how it goes.
James says you're right, Coach. I just expect Tank to win it all.
My response to that is, if anybody can do that, the three that I see that have that potential, not in any particular order, are Tank, Shakur, and Haney. And I'll tell you why. Canelo is doing it, and he's just really able to speak English, right? Typically, the fighter that cracks the glass ceiling amongst American audiences speaks English. Yeah, you've had cases like Julio Chavez Sr., but as long as Tank is able to be matched in a way that he can deliver highlight reel knockouts, coupled with the way he's handling himself behind the microphone and in front of the camera. We just saw Devin do a masterful job with the cameras in front of him, and we've seen Shakur do the same. So if you know how to manage the media and perform spectacularly, you have the opportunity with the youthfulness that they have to become the faces of boxing, in my opinion.
All right, let me say this.
I know what you're going to say.
I'm going to say this right now. The winner of the Earl Spence Terrence Crawford fight is the man in the land. I don't care how you slice the pie. I don't care whatever you want to throw out there. They the man. They are it. Until the winner of Devin, Tank, and Shakur comes out, they are the man in the land.
And I have to agree with you, AKA. I think it's going to be a very temporary, short exchange. that yes, it's going to be very because they're older. They're like 34. They're like 34 years old. So it's going to be a quick flip page, and then one of these young guys are going to rise up, and they're going to be the young king, and they're going to hold it for like 10 years or so, kind of like a Canelo and Floyd before him.
Now, take this, y'all. Talib says, I just don't see Shakur or Devin yet. A lot of fans are giving them respect, but they're saying that fencing style is boring. Superstars aren't coming out for jabbers.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that at all.
Go ahead, Smoke.
I don't agree with that at all.
Is it?
You heard me?
Yeah, we hear you. I'm listening.
Yeah, that's it. I don't agree with that.
All right, Smoke say he don't agree with it. Coach, you look like you hot. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm not hot. I mean, I'm not hot, but I don't, what did you think? What did Floyd do? Smoke? Come on, Smoke.
That's not Smoke. Talib said that.
Oh, so Talib said, I thought Smoke said.
Talib, don't jump on my back, bro.
Who is Floyd Mayweather? How, I mean, some people thought he was boring. I didn't think he was boring. I think that he was spectacular. I think Shakur is spectacular. I think these young kids, all of them are. I mean, if you see their athleticism and these kids are, you're seeing Tank with these knockouts, but Tank has a lot of athleticism. He has a lot of boxing skill. Devin has a lot of boxing skill. Shakur has a lot of boxing skill that I think that the fans, the real boxing pundits or fans, they enjoy this, and they're only going to get better. You haven't seen everything from these guys yet.
Yeah, Talib, you're a tough sell today, my brother. Talib, you are a tough sell today.
That's my man, though. Let me say this, though. Talib, my guy, I disagree wholeheartedly. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to say this. What's going to happen to Devin Haney and Shakur is if they continue on the path they're doing, the fans are going to turn on them. And now they're going to tune in because they want to see somebody beat them, because they're going to get tired of them beating everybody. You know what I'm saying? Right. So let me get to these comments. Let me start with Dante. Dante says, that's exactly who I saw Saturday night, Little Floyd, and I grew more respect for Floyd from what Devin did. I wasn't that big into boxing to appreciate Floyd 10 years ago. Then, they will keep putting Tank in with the Rollies and the Barrios. It's a reason Leonard keeps saying Shakur Haney doesn't make money. It's crazy. Tank holding the belt at 140 and 135, but Devin and Josh didn't have to beat Tank to become undisputed. They all asked for each other, but Tank only asked for Ryan. I wonder why.
Well, one thing about that, Charlie, I think eventually it's going to have to happen. Okay, if they're doing what you say they're doing, it's going to build. And guess what? One day they're going to have to meet. Okay, it may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but it's going to happen.
And hopefully, when it does happen, we won't get out of prime fighters fighting each other. Hopefully it happens sooner than later so that we can see the best version of both of them or all of them fighting each other.
Okay. Lee came back. He said Floyd threw more than the jab. I'm reading the comments, talking to fans as well as other coaches.
Yes, he did. He definitely threw more than jab. I mean, he perfected the lead straight shot and getting under and coming back again. Floyd was beautiful.
All right. Tank should go to 149 and fight Taylor instead of wait a year for a Haney fight.
Y'all are some tough matchmakers out there.
Well, more than likely, Teofimo is going to get the Josh Taylor fight. That's more than likely. So for Tank, do you fight Shakur now? Or what do you do? You know what I mean? Shakur could easily stay at 130, get the other two belts, become undisputed there. But then what does Tank fight Ryan? Charlie got a point there. But what I'm gonna say to y'all is this. I don't think they're scared to put Tank in the ring with anybody right now. I think the machine has worked. The star power is there. The place was packed. It wasn't an empty seat in the Barclay. The machine worked. So now it's time for the fight. Because Devin Haney, yes indeed, y'all, Devin Haney and Shakur and everybody else, Tank is fully on notice now. You got to find a way to get to the big fights now, baby.
Well, I think Tank is already in the big fights, actually. I mean, I don't understand how you can say he's got to get in the big fights. Yes, there are fighters that we want to see him fight. We want to see the best fight the best. But when Tank fights, he is the best, and he's packing the house. So eventually, I think we're going to see all of them. They're going to collide.
Okay.
Just like I said earlier with the Rays and Hagler and Hearns and Pepino Cuevas, it's going to happen. It's building.
I'm going to take Coach. Hey, Coach, you won that. Talib is back. I'm sorry, Floyd was big because he was KOing people. Devin Shakur fight like money, not pretty boy. This one for JM. Go ahead, JM.
Well, I mean, I would say that, and both of them have said it, that they've idolized Floyd, and it wouldn't surprise me at their age if they don't, idolize the latest version of Floyd that they saw, and they were probably too young to see the more offensively aggressive Floyd. But we do know that Floyd understood that the best version of him was the defensive version of him, the one that was more defensively responsible, that focused on hitting and not get hit. So at the end of the day, you want to fight smart and what's going to, give you longevity, and not only focus on this, devil may care, caution to the wind kind of offense.
I agree with you, Jam, 100%.
What you saying, Talib? Don't go running. Don't go running. What you got to say?
Devin did more than jab Saturday. He made Kambosos look foolish. He couldn't touch him. His movement around the ring was crazy. It was calculated, not out of control. Dante,
I can agree with that, but I can also understand that according to what Kambosos did, which was basically nothing, that Devin could have opened up a little bit more. But he fought very smartly by using that jab, using that educated jab, and maintaining his distance. Me myself, I would have loved to see him take him out, because I was thinking that maybe the judging was kind of skewed for Kambosos. Okay, so some of the rounds that were, they weren't very exciting. That I thought maybe they might give those rounds to Kambosos, even though Kambosos did nothing, and Devin used the jab. Fortunately, they did not do that. But if you look at the scorecards, according to what you will see some of the judging was not quite what it should have been.
I agree. Yeah. Mic drop. Mic drop. Drop the mic.
Oh man. All right. So listen. we see what the next topic was.
Am I missing something or something?
Nah, man. I'm enjoying the moment, man. You know what I mean? I got my brother JM and Coach Ron Sims. We live in studio. Audience is my Boxing the DC folks is in the building.
It's a takeover. Tag Boxer, Champion Solutions, Firearm Services.
Talib is back. Hold on. Talib is back. Talib hot today, boy. He said, I don't agree fully. Floyd fought aggressively and didn't get touched. He knew how to do it and was a master at it. He only changed his style because of his body and his hands breaking down.
I don't quite understand what Talib is saying. Is he speaking? He's speaking of both Devin and Shakur.
No, he talking about strictly Floyd. He's basically saying that Floyd was aggressive until his hands forced him to do otherwise.
So I think what he's saying is that Devin and Shakur does not fight how Floyd fought
As Pretty Boy.
As Pretty Boy. Okay, and I think JM already came back and said, okay, they saw the later half of their idol Floyd, and they emulated what they saw, what their idol did. And I think a little bit differently. I think I've seen, I've worked with Shakur before, and I know that the power that he possesses in his punches. A lot of people don't recognize that. With Shakur, you wonder why boxers box the way that they box, because of the body shots. The body shots that he throws, it doesn't look like he's putting forth a lot of effort, but those body shots are crippling. Okay, and this is why you see his opponents responding the way that they respond. They don't just come in. Okay, even the power puncher in Jeremiah, he didn't just come in. As a matter of fact, he did get dropped. I believe it was like the second round of that fight. And people have their different perceptions, but hey, and it's okay for you to have your perception.
And I also think that while fans do use an earmark by saying when he was branding himself as Pretty Boy Floyd Mayweather, it was having consistently broken hands, and afterwards it was Money Mayweather. But you can't forget that some of these kids were, barely potty trained, and they just simply didn't benefit from seeing that version of Floyd. And Floyd benefited from seeing that version of his own uncle, Roger Mayweather, who was a very offensive fighter.
Also, ladies and gentlemen, coming up as this buffet continues, we got pretty soon we got the Joe Smith versus Bear Beef, which could serve as a prelim to an undisputed. Got another question. What would we be saying? Devin got caught trying to do something he didn't have to do. Why do something you don't have to entertain and risk all you worked for and sacrifice?
I'll answer that. They would be criticizing him for not being a smart fighter. That's what they would be doing. They would be saying, he's undisciplined, he's unfocused, he couldn't sustain an educated effort for 12 rounds, Dante. That's what they would be saying.
And let me answer the other question of why, okay? You asked why, I can't, why do something that you don't have to do to entertain? Okay, because that uplifts your greatness, your skills. You're showing people how good you really are. Okay, that's what it's about. It's about performance. It's about getting highlights. Okay, having making the fans making the public excited about what you do. Okay, nobody wants to have a performance that puts people to sleep. Okay, and I'm not saying that his performance put anybody to sleep, but this is why we do things to excel. Okay, and to be at the top of the totem pole, and that's why.
And it's sports entertainment. I mean, we can't forget about that. As much as it is competitive sport, it's still the entertainment business as well. And there are fans. Every fan isn't as detailed as Talib is. Fans generally want to see scintillating excitement.
All right, Smoke, you got anything on that topic real quick?
Like to me personally, if people gonna talk like that, they don't know boxing. If you're gonna say they boring because they out there just using a jab and playing smart, like what could you really say? They don't know
Well,
boxing.
well, he's explaining what he mean in his next comment right here. See right here, says, "I'm not knocking their style or how they fight. In my opinion, they're missing the excitement factor. Fans start dissing and calling them boring. There are more casual fans than true fans, and they are the ones that pay the money. I love them both."
And the thing about that though, Talib, is guess what? You want all the fans, whether they're true fans or casual fans. You want all the fans. That's what brings up your popularity. That's what brings you to have commercials such as Ryan Garcia.
He says Tank is there. He takes calculated risk. Fences don't. I just think, you know what, Tank, this the difference. I think Tank biggest thing is he has an eraser that they don't have. You know what I mean? He has an eraser that they don't have, so he can rely on that. You know what I mean? He can rely on the fact that he's a heavy puncher because he was boxing roadie till he set up that shot. You know what I'm saying?
And also, you're talking about fencer. He's a short fencer. So how can you fence and you don't have the what you call it, the saber, the long saber. How can you fence if you don't have a long saber?
All right, look, this is the last question. I love this, but this is the last question of the day. Which fight would be bigger? And everybody take the bias out. Take your bias out. Which fight would be bigger? Triple G and Canelo or Spence versus Crawford? Take the bias out.
I think that's a really quick question, man.
It's rigged.
I think that's a really
The
question.
fight is fixed. It's fixed.
How's it fixed?
It's fixed.
How's it fixed?
It's fixed. Let me ask you something. How many times have you seen Rocky? You've seen it too many times. Same thing with Triple G and Canelo. We've seen it too many times. We've seen that movie before. We've seen it before. What the world is waiting for is this new meal. This new meal we smelled the cooking in the distance. We've heard the steak sizzling, right? Our taste buds are salivating. We've never sat at this table.
Okay. All right, let me get to Charlie. Then I'm gonna get to Talib again, and then I'm gonna tell y'all why I asked that question. Okay. I will take outboxing one of the top 5 guys in your division like Shakur and Devin, then knocking out someone who not in the top 5 any day. I will also think the guys Tank fight Mexican style leaves themselves open more and makes for a more exciting fight.
Charlie with the smoke.
That's my cousin.
Cousin Charlie.
I don't believe it. Haney and Shakur have pop, but they train safety first. Fence is a jab. And then Talib said that's not a real question. Actually, Talib, let me tell you, look, they're coming for me. Come on. Listen, I hear what y'all saying, but on Twitter, I told you I go to Twitter, then I go to YouTube before I go any other place. And on Twitter, they had an actual forum, not just one or two people, a forum saying that it's no way that Spencer Crawford can be a bigger fight than the Triple G Canelo fight. I'm not making this up. And I'm talking about there are people who in the boxing community. One of the people spearheading this conversation was Eddie Hearn himself. I'm not making this up.
That's the machine. They trying to work the machine. They setting the machine up.
So let me ask you something, AK. What network is the fight going to be on?
DAZN.
What network is Eddie Hearn in partnership with?
DAZN.
I rest my case.
But what I'm saying is this. I get what you're saying with Eddie Hearn. I'm talking about the legion of people on Twitter that was riding with that. Listen, bro, they set a space up. They said the American fight fans are mad because two guys not from American descent is going to be a bigger fight than Spencer Crawford. I didn't make this up.
Okay, Eddie Hearn, if you're listening, if this will get to you, I know what you did. You invited all of your cousins on Twitter. You had a family reunion meeting on Twitter, and you told everybody to say that the fight on your network is the biggest fight in boxing.
Well, y'all see how he just took the steam out of that. But he's not lying. He's not lying. I just wanted, see what everybody thought. I mean, I personally don't think that Triple G and Canelo can even come close. I mean, together, their biggest night was 1.3 when they was at the heights of the heights. That's the best you can do. And before anybody get excited and say, well, if Spencer Crawford don't do that, we all know what's going on in the world today. They have to deal with the streamers. They have to deal with all kinds of stuff. But no way, no how would we, do we even talk about the first two Triple G fights except for meaningless debates? Nobody go back and yo, man, that was that. Do we?
No.
I think we're going to be talking about Bench Crawford 20 years from now.
Yeah, kind of like Sugar Ray Hearns, Sugar Ray Hagler Hearns. I think that's going to fall in that realm. Well, I hope it does.
Hey, Jam, you keep putting your stuff in the private chat, not the comments.
Oh, it's supposed to be in the comments.
Yeah, put it in the comments so people can see it.
Oh, I'll put it in the comments.
Yeah, you keep putting it in there. Okay, Talib agreed. Okay, we got an agreement from Talib. You know what I'm saying?
We finally convinced.
Hey, we should clap it up for that. Clap it up for that one. Hey. That's my man, though, man. Appreciate you tapping there, my guy. That's my guy, though, man. Yeah, we had a good spicy one today, y'all. Dante, Talib, James, Charlie, you supposed to be on here, though. You know what I mean, though. But again, I do thank my brother JM and Coach Ron for tapping in with us today. You know what I mean? It's an honor and a pleasure being here with him. JM, tell the people, you put your plug in.
Okay, I couldn't get to the comment section, but let me tell y'all now.
It's a big sign to say post a comment, but go ahead.
Yeah. Check me out, my website. Matter of fact, y'all on IG, go to @CS Firearm Services. In this climate, with these mass shooters and these active shooters, I have a active shooter preparedness course. You and your families need to have that. I'm right here in the DMV. Also, if you have sisters, nieces, daughters, they need my intimate partner violence prevention and mitigation workshop. They need that. I'm finishing a workshop right now with Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. You need to protect all Black women.
They want you to put all that you just said in the comment section.
All right.
Because if you put it in the comment section, they can always come back and see it.
Can't get to it.
It says on your screen, post a comment.
All right. Maybe this is it right here.
Yeah, post a comment. And also, Talib said, Coach got some 118, 126 pounders. I need to give my son some work up there. Coach is actually in Houston. But you know what, Coach?
Yeah. I'm in Houston right now. I'm in DC, but I can probably. When you say 118, 126 pounders, are they professional, amateurs, female, male? Break it down a little bit more. And I'm sure in this area here. I just stopped by Coach Gerald Davis's gym yesterday, and they have a lot of work up there. I mean, it was beautiful, man. I
actually think Talib is in Atlanta. Talib, you in Atlanta, right? I think Talib is in Atlanta.
Okay, so is he saying he's willing to travel?
Yeah, Talib, Coach. He said we'll go to Texas. He said
Houston, Texas. Okay, I'm in here. I'm in Houston. So hey, we'll hook up. Have AKA give you my number and contact me, and we'll make something happen.
And there you have it. You know what I'm saying? We setting up things for the future and everything in here, man. This is what we do, baby. We build. Listen, like I tell everybody, man, if you got a business, you got anything you want to do, you can put it in the comment section. I post it. This is our community. This is what we do. You know what I'm saying?
I just want to say one more thing. I want to speak on behalf of JM. Hey, if you don't know JM is the man to know. So go ahead, hit him up on his IG. I'm telling you, you're gonna get a lot of stuff from JM. A lot of important and valuable things from this man.
Thank you so much.
he come Talib said, okay, no more debating when I come.
I'll see you, Talib.
Okay, Talib. Hey, we gonna make it happen, Talib.
That's what's up. My man said no more debating when he come, man. Listen, we thank y'all so much. I think this was a beautiful, 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 beautiful show. We had a few technical difficulties, but we got through it. Brother Coach Ron, you got any parting words, anything you want to share with everybody?
I just want to say thank you, AKA, for having me on the show. And hey, I'll be around, and that's it.
There it is, Coach Ron, USA Boxing. That's right. You know what I mean? USA Boxing. You seen them all come through there, the creme of the creme. You know what I mean? So that is JM. One more time. For some odd reason, JM cannot post a comment, save his life. I'm gonna let him come over here. And post a comment. Put all this stuff in the comment section on my screen so y'all can see it. And he gonna put his IG and everything he said right here where it says post a comment, even though it's on his computer too. But we go.
Well, let me say it's an honor and a privilege to be here, AKA, and the entire Let's Talk Sports family. This platform is poising itself to be the leader in these type of platforms for the boxing community, a voice of integrity, a voice of intelligence, and a voice that is fun. It's fun. I've had fun being here with you all today. I hope you and your family stay safe, stay vigilant out here. These are really sensitive times that we're living in, but I appreciate the opportunity to be in here to break the ice and the fellowship with my favorite boxing coach, Coach Ronald Sims, and my favorite boxing talk show host, AKA the Apostle, and Let's Talk Sports.
My God. You know what? I tell you what you're going to do. And I see he put it on his says he can't put it in the comment section. He put his stuff on the screen. So what I do, I'm gonna take a picture of this once I get home, and I'll post it in the
picture.
Pictures worth 1,000 words. Pictures never go away.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So once I post it, it's there. You know what I mean? There it is. Pictures worth. I'm fumbling and bumbling. Let me get out of here, y'all. Appreciate y'all. We gonna do this.
Talib said he hopes he's your favorite debater.
Yeah, Talib, you are my favorite debater. You are my favorite debater, Talib, for sure. 100%. But you know your stuff, and much respect to you, Talib.
Exactly.